The nightclub is definitely one of the best businesses in GTA Online. However, it is also one of the most complicated, but not anymore, because this video will guide you through everything that you need to know about the nightclub so that you can start making millions from it. First things first, you need to actually buy one, which you can do from the Mazebank Foreclosures website. Then select the nightclubs, where you're going to see 10 different locations, all within the city, which range from $1 million up to $1.7 million. The best locations to get are either the West Vinewood or Downtown Vinewood nightclubs, which are the most expensive ones. The reason you want these is because almost all sell missions are located towards the top of the map, which is within the perfect distance from these two nightclubs. However, you will rarely ever be selling your nightclub, which is why the location really doesn't matter, so just go for whichever location you prefer. Although I do recommend avoiding these bottom 3 nightclubs, because although they are the cheapest ones, if you want to change your nightclub's location later down the road, you will need to repurchase all of the upgrades again, so keep that in mind when choosing the nightclub's location. When it comes to the cosmetic upgrades, they are exactly that, cosmetic. They will not make you more money, and instead they change the way your nightclub looks, which could see you spending up to $3 million with them all. But the only useful upgrade is the storage, which allows you to add additional warehouse and garage space, with a maximum of 4 extra floors of storage for your warehouse, costing up to $1.7 million. And you can also add an extra 3 floors of garage space, with each holding 10 vehicles, which is very useful to have. And altogether, you would be spending $2.1 million. Once you have purchased the nightclub, you will need to complete a few setup missions, which requires you to collect your staff and equipment as well as your DJ. But after completing them, you will need to spend more money on the business upgrades, which include the equipment upgrade costing $1.4 million. This will speed up the rate in which the goods are produced, so it is very much worth buying. Then there's the staff upgrade, which costs $475,000, and this will reduce the time in which it takes for your popularity bar to decrease. And for what I go over later in the video, this upgrade is not really necessary, especially if you're low on money. And finally, there's the security upgrade, which costs $695,000. And this will reduce the likelihood of your nightclub being raided by enemies. And although this rarely ever happens, I do recommend getting this upgrade later down the line. But for now, the most important one is the equipment upgrade. The rest can be bought later on. Now when it comes to making money, there are 2 ways with the nightclub. The first is through the Nightclub Popularity, which is the best passive income in the game. When inside your nightclub, you're going to see your popularity bar. This determines how popular your nightclub is, and the more customers that you have visiting your nightclub, the more passive income you generate. So it's your job to keep this bar full to make the most money. But how do we do that? On your nightclub's computer, there is a nightclub management section. This is where you can check the status of your popularity as well as promoting the club. This will send you out on a long and boring mission where you will be placing posters around the city or dropping off flyers. And these missions will earn you a small chunk of popularity, but they do have a 5-minute cooldown and they take way too long to do. But there are much better ways of increasing your popularity, and the best way to do it is by kicking out troublemakers. To do this, always enter your nightclub in passive mode. This way, when inside, you will see a blue dot on your map. When you go over to it, you will be given the option to remove a troublemaker. Doing this will give you a huge boost in popularity as well as an extra $10,000. This is the fastest way to increase your popularity, as you don't have to leave your nightclub once and it only takes a minute to do. Another very easy way is by escorting a VIP. If you do not enter the nightclub in passive mode, there is a chance that you can get the delivery of a VIP. They will always be marked with this icon, and when interacting with them, you will be kicked out of the nightclub and put into a vehicle, where you will need to drive the VIP to a random location. But if you drive too fast or crash, you will spook the VIP, and if this bar is completely filled, the mission will be over. However, successfully completing this mission will give you a nice increase in popularity, and again, $10,000. Although this mission is a little bit more tedious than the others, it's still much better than the management ones. However, keep in mind that these two missions will only spawn inside your nightclub if you actually have enough popularity for customers to actually be there. The final way to increase popularity is through the resident DJ. There are 4 different DJs to choose from, and if it's your first time booking one of them, it will cost $100,000, and this gives you a full bar of popularity. However, the next time you want to book them, it will only cost you $10,000, but this time you only get a small increase in popularity. An easy method you can use is by going onto your basement computer, because it will skip the DJ cutscene, which saves you a lot of time, allowing you to switch between each DJ until your popularity is full. This could cost up to $100,000 if you have no popularity, and although this isn't a cheap option, it is definitely the fastest. So now you know how to fill it up, but how much money does it earn you? With a full popularity bar, your nightclub wall save generates $50,000 every 48 minutes. As long as you keep maintaining your popularity, your income will not drop. Simply visit the nightclub every hour or so to kick out a troublemaker, and you will consistently earn $50,000 per hour. The wall safe does have a max capacity of 250,000, so make sure that you empty it every now and again to avoid missing out on daily income. Now that you know everything about the popularity, it's time to get into the main way to make money, and that is through the Nightclub Warehouse. Inside of the nightclub's computer, you want to head to the Warehouse Management tab. Here you are going to see 5 different technicians that are available to you, one of which is Yohan, who comes for free with the nightclub. However, the other 4 technicians need to be hired, which will cost up to $878,000. Once these technicians are hired, they can be assigned to any type of good. However, only 1 technician can be assigned to each type of good at once. And with there being 7 possible good types and only 5 technicians, you want to make sure that you're assigning them to the best possible ones. The 7 good types are linked to a certain business in the game, and they will only be available to the technicians if you own the corresponding business. The 7 types of goods include cargo and shipments, which is the special crate warehouse, or the hangar, sporting goods, which is the bunker, South American imports, which is the cork lockup, pharmaceutical research, which is the blue lab, organic produce, which is the green farm, printing and copying, which is the document forgery office, and finally cash creation, which is the counterfeit cash factory. If you do not own any of the required businesses that are linked to the product, those goods will be locked until you do. However, you do not need to own all of the businesses listed above, because each type of product will produce stock at different rates and earn different amounts. But like I mentioned, you only have 5 available technicians at a time, which means you should avoid organic produce and printing and copying, which are linked to the 2 worst businesses in the game. Now, if you don't have all of the other 5 businesses, then you're going to be spending a lot of money. And depending on what type of player you are, the nightclub is going to be a very expensive business to start up. However, you only need to own the cheapest options for all of the businesses. As long as they are set up and running, you can assign your technicians to the associated goods in your nightclub. The businesses do not need to have supplies or stock inside of them, and you don't even need to purchase any of the upgrades for them, unless you are of course running the businesses outside of the nightclub. The cheapest options for the cork lockup, blue lab and counterfeit cash factory will see you spending over $3 million, because you do need to also own a clubhouse. The cheapest bunker will also cost just over $1 million, and the cheapest hangar will cost $1.2 million. Or instead, if you want the crate warehouses, this will also cost $1.2 million, because this will require a CEO office. And altogether, you would be spending between $5 million to $5.2 million, and that is without any upgrades. which can see the cost going up even more. So to put it short, the Nightclub Warehouse is not cheap at all if you want to make the most money, especially if you're a beginner. You definitely do not have the funds required to set up the Nightclub Warehouse. But over time, you will eventually have all the correct businesses to make the warehouse a money-making machine. Once a technician has been assigned to a specific good type, they will acquire those goods automatically without any other requirements from you. Unlike the actual business linked to them, there are no supplies required for the nightclub. It is all completely passive and you get full profit. However, there are other ways to fill up the nightclub. The first is through business battles, which will only spawn when there are 3 or more players in a session. These business battles allow you to obtain anywhere from 2 to 8 crates for your warehouse. Some require you to pick up a single vehicle containing the crates, or you can collect up to 8 individual crates, depending on if you're quick enough and if there aren't any other players participating. You also earn $10,000 for each crate of goods that you deliver. This is a great way to fill up your nightclub, saving you so much time. The final way is by calling Yohan and requesting nightclub goods, which will give you the location of a truck containing cargo. All you have to do is steal it and deliver it back to the nightclub. This will also give you 1 crate at random for your warehouse, and this can definitely help you fill up your warehouse much faster, although there is a 20-minute cooldown before you can start one up again. In order to maximize profits and not waste any time, the best time to sell the nightclub is when South American imports reaches maximum capacity at 10 out of 10 crates. The reason for this is because this makes you the most amount of money in just 20 hours. Because South American imports, pharmaceutical research and cash creation each take 20 hours to fill up. And for the rest, sporting goods and cargo and shipments, they take up to 60 hours. So selling all 5 of them with the other 3 full works out much easier for you. Just keep in mind that Tony, your nightclub's manager, will always take a 10% cut out of your earnings. However, this caps out at $100,000 when selling anything above 1 million. You can also sell your nightclub goods within special orders, which gives you an extra bonus for doing so. However, unlike selling all of the goods at once, you will need to do this a lot more regularly, which totally depends on if you want to waste time on doing sell missions. While on the topic of sell missions, the nightclub actually has 3 different options to choose from, depending on the amount of crates that you are selling. The first is the Speedo custom, which you get when selling between 0 and 89 crates. This comes free with the nightclub. Next is the Mule custom, which is used for 90 to 179 crates, and for anything above 180 crates, you get the Pounder custom. These can be purchased separately from Warstock, and to save you money, only ever buy the Pounder custom because it can hold any amount of crates, making the Mule custom completely useless. These vehicles can also be upgraded inside the nightclub, allowing you to add armor and weapon options, which can be very useful if you're someone who sells in public lobbies. And when it comes to selling the nightclub, no matter how much stock that you have, you will only ever receive 1 vehicle, which makes these sell missions extremely easy for solo players. And finally, the nightclub also allows you to purchase and store the Terrorbyte, which is one of the most versatile vehicles in the game. Not only can you store your Oppressor Mark II inside of it, but you can also launch source missions for your businesses, which include the MC businesses, the bunker, special cargo, vehicle cargo, and the hangar, which can save you so much time. The Terrorbyte also allows you to launch client jobs, which are basically jacked up VIP missions. These take around 5 minutes to do and earn you between $30,000. But with all that being said, that is the nightclub explained. Hopefully you are now an expert at running this business, whether you've been putting it off for a while or you're new to the game. I hope this guide was helpful, and if it was, be sure to check out more guides on screen. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.